Welcome back to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, where qualifying will begin shortly. Today's qualifying should be an interesting affair, as the drivers try to put in their best laps on this fascinating circuit. What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
It's been a great session for the team. They've really been pushing hard to make this happen, and their hard work has been rewarded.
The crowd are ready for today's action, and we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for the race win. It's time for the Mexican Grand Prix. With over 30 P1s to his name, Lewis Hamilton's already one of the most successful pole sitters in Formula One history. But he's added to that impressive tally this weekend, and today he'll be hoping he can add another win to his record as well.
He has clean air in front of him, so we'll be hoping he can create a gap over the first few laps. If the cars in second and third can keep close until the first round of pit stops, then they may be able to take advantage on the undercut.
Lewis Hamilton stands within one race victory of securing another world title. He's asked that no family attend the race today, while he stays steely focused on doing the job and taking the championship.
We've almost run out of superlatives for him. Winning one world championship is an amazing feat. To keep the hunger to come back and win more, that's what separates the truly great drivers.
You have a great chance of taking home the win today. Let's make this work for us. continues when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone. That's your 8th consecutive win in a row. That's just amazing. Congratulations.
Lewis Hamilton wins today's race and in turn becomes world champion again. What a wonderful achievement for this British driver.
Well, we always knew how good a driver Lewis was, and that if he could have a problem-free season, he could win another world championship. And that's exactly what he's done.
It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye. Welcome to Interlagos, Sao Paulo. We hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon, and we hope you'll stay with us for today's qualifying for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Well, Red Bull have done well here in the past, but this year they'll definitely have competition for that top spot. No team has it all their own way forever. It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
They've really worked hard this weekend, and it seems they've been able to set up the cars perfectly today. Whether this will translate into race pace tomorrow, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
Welcome to Sao Paulo, which has been host to Formula One races since 1973. Sit back and relax for what's going to be a fantastic Brazilian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, rather unsurprisingly, was fastest in qualifying yesterday. The key now is to make sure he builds a big enough gap over the first 2 laps to keep the other cars behind him and out of DRS range.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
Daniel Kvyat will hope that the DRS problems that he suffered earlier in the weekend are now behind him. Otherwise, it could be a very long Grand Prix for him today.
There was a scary point when it came open just before turn 6, and Daniel was lucky to catch the car, or he could have been a passenger heading towards the barriers. The team have said they've since resolved the issue, so hopefully he'll be fine today.
You're capable of pushing for the win today. Good luck. result.
It's a win for Mercedes and a win for Lewis Hamilton. The British driver was the class of the field today and fully deserves his victory.
It was a brilliant performance, and when you drive like that, the feeling of winning is even sweeter.
After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us and goodbye until the next race. Here we are at the beautiful Yas Marina circuit where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax and enjoy the action. Even though the championship has already been decided, there's still a race to win here this weekend and some championship points available for teams and for drivers to collect. So I don't think anyone will be taking this weekend for granted.
Definitely not. It's all about the results for the drivers. They'll still be putting maximum effort into today's qualifying session. Outside of the top teams, there's also a lot to play for further down the grid.
What a session it's been for Mercedes today. They've locked the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
Well, both these drivers have been working hard with the team to ensure they get maximum performance out of the car, and it looks like they've found the right combination, at least in qualifying trim. Now, we need to see how they get on in the race.
The race here at the Yas Marina circuit will be starting shortly. With the fading lights, strong spotlights will take over, making the Abu Dhabi track a unique racing experience. Mercedes horsepower once again takes pole position for today's race after Lewis Hamilton's stunning time in Q3 yesterday. If he can translate that pace into race performance, then you have to say he's a sure bet for the victory.
He'll want to end this weekend on a high after yesterday's fantastic performance, but he's going to have a lot of competition. I doubt he'll be expecting an easy race, especially considering the teams around him.
Lewis Hamilton has certainly had the edge on Nico Rosberg in qualifying so far this year. He's dominated his German teammate on Saturdays.
I think Lewis has really got into Nico's head now. Nico's certainly a formidable competitor, but there's something about what Lewis is delivering every Saturday that he can't deal with.
Let's go for the win today.
one could compete with the Mercedes today as they take home another race win.
Indeed, they'll be ecstatic with that result, and they should be. It was a fantastic drive.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time.